Hello, and welcome to the first episode of my devlog for the OurCraft TCG. I've actually been working on this series for about a month now, so I have quite a lot of things to show off. Earlier, before this episode will be uploaded, I have uploaded another video titled How to Play, so you can get a good idea of what the rules are, but I'm sure I'll be going over how to play and all the other sorts of stuff as we go. So there's a lot to show off in the Minecraft world, but before we get into too much of what's over here, which as you can see there's quite a lot, I'm actually going to step out of Minecraft a little bit and showcase the design doc and an Excel sheet showcasing some of my ideas going into working on this project. Okay, so we're actually going to start off taking a look at my design document that I made about 1 month ago when I was first coming up for the idea for this. The reason that I started making this project was that I wanted to create something that would be fun and exciting for veteran players on the server I play in to engage with something new that they could do, and that has semi-regular content updates so it keeps people interested month after month. And there were a few design limitations that I really easily came up with early on. The first and most obvious one is that this is in Minecraft, which means I have to build a game that is compatible with Minecraft. So one of the first things I realized was that the deck of cards that you make should be able to fit in a shulker box, because in Minecraft that's really the only way that would make sense to portably carry around like a deck of cards, which means that the deck of cards needs to be 27 items or less. I went ahead and just started off with 27 as a baseline, and I ended up later on deciding that was the correct amount. I think that's good. Another design pillar that I wanted to focus on was the speed of the game. A lot of trading card games take quite a while to play, and I didn't think that was appropriate for the setting, it being localized within a Minecraft server. I think that the design should focus on it being very fast, easy to play, maybe takes 5 to 10 minutes so people can play it while they're waiting for something else to happen on the server. It's very much intended to be a side event and not a main event. And a lot of the design decisions that you can see here on the first page, like having 5 health and only having 3 spots for creatures and 3 spots for structures, those were designed so that the higher power limit of the game would be very small, so games can't ramp up and take forever. Everyone's always in danger of the game ending next turn if something doesn't go right, or if they get a super big power boost, the game can always end immediately. That way the game is always engaging, people are always on their toes, and it's not really clear if you're going to have time to pull off a long combo like you're expecting, and instead people should focus on quick and easy ways to get an advantage. And the last major question that I had an answer to pretty early was the amount of time that I wanted people to spend playing OurCraft TCG, and I pretty early on decided that monthly missions were going to be a thing, because I wanted to make sure that players were encouraged to play the game regularly, but that they didn't spend all their time playing the game, because I didn't want it to be discouraging for players who could only play every couple weeks to go up against people who grind every day and have all the best cards immediately right out the gate. Instead, by limiting players to only get rewards on a monthly basis, most players will be kept around the same power level while still being encouraged to frequently play together. And I think that's approaching the design space that I'm looking for. And that about wraps up all the major questions that I answered with this design document. As I've been designing it, I've been working on smaller details like booster packs and like the chances of getting different rarity cards when you open a booster pack, or how many coins you can get when you trade things in, making a list of all the keywords. I've been keeping track of resources for how I can make map arts and how I can format text with different colors, stuff like that. All this is just in one handy design document, so I have a frame of reference for what my ideas are and what my principles are that I need to stick with as I'm making cards. And then next up is my spreadsheet where I keep track of every card that I have made. So this tab right here, all player cards, these are all my ideas, all the different things that I might or might not put into the game. And then I have extra tabs down here at the bottom for, first of all, is the first pack of cards. There are 25 cards that are being added to the game at the start, which it hasn't opened yet, but when it does open, there will be 25 different cards. You can see I've sorted them by creatures, instants, structures. I can even sort them by any other metric that I want. Since it's a spreadsheet, it's very easy just to sort, okay, now all the common ones first, or I could go back by the type. Then I also have another tab that shows the starter deck, so this is exactly what every single player starts out with. And then I'm making more tabs as I'm testing out single player decks. This way I can try out single player decks very easily at home. I just can make little note card versions of every card. I've actually been doing that a lot. Playing this game is actually really easy to test at home just by cutting out note cards in half. And so I've had a lot of success testing the single player modes, especially just by doing that at home on my desk. Alright, I'm heading over into Sprite for a quick minute so that I can showcase how I make the card art that I put into Minecraft. Right here is the card template file, so it's a very easy click and add backgrounds of different colors. I can even add in foil patterns. That's something that I've worked on that I haven't added into the game quite yet, but just adds a little bit of extra flair to some cards. There's different patterns on the art and the symbol on the bottom right, the creature or structure or instant. That looks different as well. This helps just to distinguish the different card types. There's a section for how much a card costs for its mana. And then if it's a structure or a creature, it will have a mana gen or an attack symbol. And then the backgrounds for the art, which I have yet to do all the art, so that's probably what Devlog 2 is gonna have. But that's pretty much everything for the Sprite section. I pretty much just copy paste the card template, toggle the settings, and then I edit the text according to the card. Alright, welcome back to the Minecraft world. I am here at the hub for the TCG trading card game. And inside this wonderful building, there's a few different rooms. Right off in the main room is the bidding hall. Here people can place bids on cards that are up for grabs or vouchers and try to be the one to claim it with the highest prize bid. Over here on this side, there's a guides room and a quests room. In the guides room, you can read up on the rules. And there's a whole bunch of different guides explaining different mechanics. And then you can buy starter kits over here on the side. You put in your payment here, and you collect your starter deck, a free voucher, and some currency right here. And over here in the quests room, every month I'm going to be putting in a new batch of quests for people to fulfill. All the rewards are available in the barrels. People just have to use the honor system, grab it themselves. But there is a log where people can mark down the day that they completed every quest. And I think I'm going to probably do a quest starting mid-January and then do a second batch of quests in February. Right now, when I'm recording this, it's pretty much at the first week of January, and I don't think it will open until maybe halfway through January, maybe the second half of January. So that's my expectations. Okay, and on this side of the hub are the booster pack room and the single player room. So looking at the booster pack room first, there's some redstone going on beneath the floor, which I'll probably showcase later. I have a whole room underneath for this stuff. Players can press the button, they retrieve a shulker box after a couple seconds, and these shulker boxes are going to have a booster pack inside them. So they're going to have 3 random cards of random rarities depending on whatever type of booster pack they're buying. And it works on the other one too, but again, all the shulker boxes right now, they're empty. I haven't filled them up yet, but they're going to have cards in them. And then over here on this side is where you can return your empty shulkers. It takes it back. And if you get cards that you don't like, or if you already have enough copies of them, you can trade them in and get some currency back, and hopefully buy a new pack with some better cards next time. Okay, and that was pretty much all of the hub. So now I'm going to take a quick look downstairs. This is what the underground room looks like. It's pretty much just redstone and barrels, and all the barrels are filled with cards. So you can see Corrupted Mine, Treehouse. I just have a bunch of copies of all the different cards. This is where I assemble the starter packs and where I'm going to be placing in all the booster packs. They're going to go in the chests up here. Right now it's just empty, but you see how it works. Alright, I'm heading up top now, and we're going to head over to the arena. That's the other main building. Thank you to Cosmic for making this beautiful infrastructure. So the TCG arena is right over this way. And I know, it looks super ominous and way too evil. I kind of didn't realize how evil I made it, but whatever. What's done is done. It just looks really evil now. That's okay, honestly, it's fine. So it's a little bit complicated looking up here, but if you watch the How to Play video, you probably recognize these are the Kingdom cards. The starter decks are here. These are just for testing with, but the way you get started is you take your starter deck, you place it right here above the hopper, and you flip the lever, and the cards start draining. And then as long as this light is on, it's still shuffling the cards, so we have to wait about 10-15 seconds. The cards are still being loaded. And okay, now it's done shuffling. And so once it's done shuffling, I can press this button to get another card. It'll pop out right here, and I can keep pressing it, more cards will pop out. There's even an option to draw all of the cards if I want. I just flick the lever and cards just get spit out one after another. So if I'm done playing and I need to get my whole deck back out of the machine, that's how you do it. And then lastly, there's this nice little setting here that actually shows you how many cards are left in your deck. Right now it has dirt, but it could be anything. You just put any item in there, and the number of items that it shows right here is exactly how many cards you have left to draw. So if I press the button one more time, another card pops up, and we're down to 18. And that's pretty much how the arena works. There's a logbook over here that people can write down the history of their matches. There's a discard pile here. Oh, and I almost forgot the redstone device that's right here. If you press this button, it resets the health to 5. If you press these buttons, you can add or subtract from your health. You can go back up to 4, and then if I go down all the way to 0, I can press reset to 5, and it goes back up. It's using the crafter item to store up to 5 items at once, and then there's a comparator that measures the signal, and that's all happening pretty much beneath these stands right here, which, by the way, the stands are just for the audience members. It can get a little crowded down there if there's a whole bunch of people watching, so I decided that it would be a lot better if there's a place for everyone to hang out and just watch the game as it's happening. I even added some lockers for people to put all their stuff while they're playing. So yeah, I have to say I'm very happy with how the arena turned out. Everything really came along nicely, better than I could have imagined, since I didn't really have much of a plan for the arena besides the main central area here. I didn't even know how I was going to do the redstone, but somehow it worked out. And that about wraps things up. Thank you very much for watching Devlog 1, and we'll be back with more updates in the next one.